What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Jimmy Mullen podcast. I'm your host, Jimmy Mullen. Today, I've got a couple things I'd like to discuss in regards to news in the entertainment industry, things that caught my eye the last couple weeks. For one, as the day this video is going up, we have Deadpool and Logan coming to Disney Plus as some of the first R-rated movies to come to Disney Plus, at least in the United States. I'm also going to be talking about my thoughts on what Marvel will announce during this year's San Diego Comic-Con and D23, as there's been a lot of speculation in regards to that. By the time this video goes up, some of it might already be announced, but let me just tell you as of right now, I don't know what they're going to reveal. All I know is that we're going to get a look at Spider-Man freshman year, but that's basically it, so we'll have to see. Other things I'll be talking about include my thoughts on the final 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel, my thoughts on Minions: The Rise of Gru, Daniel Kaluuya recently saying in an interview that he's still working hard on producing a new darker-toned Barney movie, which is pretty interesting to say the least. Nintendo just opened up a new film studio to work on new animated projects coming in the future. And finally, the new Mac Miller posthumous album, I Love Life, Thank You. But before we get into that, I do have a couple of announcements to make. If you guys haven't noticed by now, we have a new logo for the podcast. It was designed by my good friend Liam, aka Scheme Liam. I decided, you know what? I've been doing this for 6 months now. I think it's about time I get an actual logo that's not just a random font with my name slanted and all that. I knew it was always going to be temporary until I got like an actual logo designed and all that. I was going to commission someone to do it, but Liam just randomly started making them for fun and was like, hey, here's a bunch that I made. And I picked out one that I really liked, and that's the new logo now. So I want to thank Liam for making that happen, which, by the way, he's got some new stuff that's been coming out. If you guys haven't seen, I just had him on the podcast about 2 weeks ago. We discussed his new project, That Kid on Doxy, and we talked about a music video being in production. We have finished it and have uploaded it. It's on his channel. You can check it out. It's the music video for McChicken. We recorded it in various parts of my hometown, and we honestly had such a blast with it. It was a lot of fun. We sat on the phone together and took like an entire 2 days to get that thing done, and I really like the way it turned out. It's been like 5 years since I've made a music video, and I think in comparison to the last one I made, I think this one is a lot better. I mean, yeah, I guess that'll happen when you don't make one for 5 years and you end up making something that you're really proud of. So make sure you go check it out. He's also got a new single out called Cherry Lime. You should check that out as well. I really appreciate it if you did so. In addition to a new logo, I've also updated all of the thumbnails on both the audio and video versions of the podcast. So if you go on the YouTube channel, you'll see that all of the thumbnails have a matching look now. The remote episodes previously had just a PNG of the person, and then like it didn't even have their name, but I decided to add their names pretty recently. And I decided, you know what, if I'm going to go make a new logo and have this be the official logo of the podcast, I might as well go all out and just change all the thumbnails. And I was going to do that anyway, just to have the new logo on all the thumbnails, but I decided to go above and beyond and put in a bit more effort. And I decided to trim out everyone for each episode of the podcast and then put them all on a thumbnail. So they all have a matching aesthetic now. And the solo episodes, I decided to put a lot more effort into. I put different things I talked about for the episode in each one. And I think, they all turned out really great. Especially episode 4. I think that one is probably my favorite one that I did. But yeah, decided to change a bit of quality of life and improve on a lot of things. And this will definitely be the standard for the future. So stay tuned. Honestly, I feel like these thumbnails are a lot more clickable and, they feel a bit more engaging than just a random screenshot from the video. And the logo was also really tiny, too. I decided to make it a bit bigger. So, yeah, I'm really excited with the way these turned out. I'm honestly obsessed. I'm really loving them. So I hope you guys do, too. Let me know what you think of them in the comments or on social media. I'd love to hear from you. And the final announcement for today, before we get started with today's topics, is merch. If you guys didn't know, I started selling merch not too long ago. I put the beta logo on a bunch of things, and that was like the only thing you could get on things other than the Dr. Bob t-shirt. But I've officially decided that I'm putting the logo, the official logo, on a shirt. And also, I'm going to be delisting a bunch of the beta logo items. I will keep a couple up. Like, I'm going to keep a shirt up, maybe a hoodie. I'll see about everything. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to keep and take off, but I'm definitely going to be removing the socks, the pillow, and the mug. So you actually have until July 31st to get those if you decide that you want to get them, as I'm going to be delisting them. The pillow is getting replaced with the new logo, and so is the mug. It's also a nice black mug. It looks a lot better than the standard one. So, yeah, that's basically the gist with what's going on with that. And also, we have a new design. It's called the Sherbert logo. That's what we decided to call it. It's just an ice pop, but it looks like the Jimmy Mullen podcast logo. So if you want to get your hands on that, it's available in pink and white on a shirt, as well as a beach towel. There's also a die-cut sticker, so you can get those. I don't have the samples just yet. They are arriving in the mail. But I just wanted to let you know that if you do want to get those, you can get them now. So link in the description, or go to jimmymullen.co to get yourself some Jimmy Mullen podcast merch. I would really appreciate it. It's a great way to help support the channel. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk about everything that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, starting out with the fact that Deadpool and Logan are headed to Disney+. Actually, it's Deadpool 2, and Logan. So both of the Fox Deadpool movies, as well as Logan, these movies are notably rated R, which is going to be a first for Disney Plus in the United States. We got a little bit of this when the Marvel Netflix shows left Netflix back in February. I discussed that on the podcast previously, but I never got to say, like, oh, hey, these are officially on Disney Plus now. So if you didn't know, if you're wondering where these shows went for some reason, they're on Disney Plus now. And when I remember when logging in, they asked me to change my rating settings because now they have, more mature shows and content on Disney Plus, which initially that was all that stuff just went to Hulu. And I guess the Star equivalent in other parts of the world, as Disney Plus has a bunch of other stuff in other countries. I'm kind of jealous about it, but I can see why we don't have it because, the U.S. has Hulu. Hulu doesn't exist outside of the U.S. So, yeah, seeing the Deadpool movies and Logan head to Disney Plus was definitely a surprise. I haven't logged on to Disney Plus yet to check it out, but I would imagine when opening it, I will have to change my settings to allow R-rated content to be shown. I can't imagine they're going to put like every Fox R-rated movie on Disney Plus right now. I feel like having Deadpool and Logan is a bit of an exception because of the multiverse stuff. And let's face it, we're probably going to get an announcement in regards to Deadpool 3, either at Comic-Con or at D23. And if not either of those, it will be soon. I feel like it's a little non-coincidental that we got these movies right before San Diego Comic-Con. So something tells me we'll probably get some announcement, but who knows? I'm really excited nonetheless to see these Deadpool movies head to Disney Plus. I haven't watched them in a while. I think I've only seen Deadpool 2 once, and I really loved Logan when I saw it. So it's definitely going to be a treat to watch these movies again. It gives me a reason to watch them. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. Speaking of Marvel, let's talk about Comic-Con and D23. Like I mentioned in the beginning, as far as I know, the only thing that is going to be shown that they've confirmed is that we're getting a first look at Spider-Man Freshman Year. I do know they're going to focus a lot on the animated stuff, so I would assume since Spider-Man Freshman Year is animated, that will be a part of that. I wouldn't be surprised if we got stuff from X-Men 97, What If Season 2, and Marvel Zombies. So that's as far as I know right now. They have so many projects they've already announced, so I don't know what new things they could announce that, we didn't know at least something about in regards to either, oh, it's happening, or like, oh, here's a cast for, these things. I can imagine we'll get casting information on a lot of projects that we haven't gotten it on already, as well as new looks of upcoming stuff. There have been plenty of rumors that have been floating around in regards to what they will be showing in regards to the X-Men and Fantastic Four. I will not be discussing those here. I have seen them, but I don't want to, fuel into either spoiling something or just, not giving out true information. I'm not really one to really get into leaks and rumors and things like that. At least publicly, like, I'm not just going to start being like, oh, look at this leak. Like, I don't know. I'm not like that. I respect people that do it. If that floats your boat, that's great. That's just not really a thing for me. If anything, I would probably just look back at like what was quote unquote leaked, and then maybe laugh about it or something. I get that a lot with Smash Brothers, when there were tons of like fake rumors and leaks about Smash Brothers, and then just looking back at them after the fact and being like, that's silly. But yeah, that's basically my stance on it. In regards to what they will show, as far as I know, She-Hulk is the next project that they're going to be coming up with. That's the next Disney Plus show that's coming up. It's coming out in like mid-August. In regards to the rest of this year, we have Black Panther. That's supposed to come out, so I could only imagine we'll be getting a lot of information on that, in regards to maybe what the plot is of the movie. As far as I know, we know that Namor is in the movie, and it's going to star like Okoye and Shuri and, the rest of the Black Panther cast, obviously, other than Chadwick Boseman, because he unfortunately passed away. But yeah, I'm not really sure what the marketing is going to be for this movie, because they might. I saw someone say they might as well just drop the name Black Panther from the movie and just call it Wakanda Forever, because, this is going to be, a marketing thing. Like, how are they supposed to market this movie called Black Panther, but they don't have a Black Panther? So we will have to see how that's going to be. Either Shuri gets the mantle, or Okoye gets the mantle, or I forgot her name, but Lupita Nyong'o's character, maybe she'll get it. Or Winston Duke playing M'Baku, maybe he'll be the new Black Panther. We shall see. I don't know. I'm excited to see Namor. I know nothing about the character, but I know people get really excited about the fact that Namor is going to be in this. He's kind of like Aquaman for Marvel, except he's more of an anti-hero than a superhero or whatever. I don't really know much about the character. I just know he's important to like the Illuminati in the comics. So yeah, he might have an important role later down the line. So it'll be nice to see what they do. Also, I know Riri Williams, Ironheart, is going to be in this as well. I just remembered that while I was rambling. I've heard about this Marvel Halloween special, Werewolf by Night. I know is in production. I believe that's what it's going to be called. I would imagine that's probably coming out this year. It's a Halloween special. Or maybe they'll just drop it next year. Who knows? I know that there's a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that's already confirmed to be coming out by the end of this year, so that'll be fun. Maybe we'll get some information on that, and then it'll lead into Guardians 3, which is set to come out next year. We've also got the Marvels, we've got Ant-Man 3, we've got the Secret Invasion show. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. Other than that, I honestly can't really think of what else they could really talk about. Some of the stuff I feel like is too far out. Maybe we'll get information on Loki Season 2, or the Agatha Harkness show. Who knows? Something I'm really hoping for, however, is the casting announcement of some kind for the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Whether we get news that they'll be popping up in other things alongside their own movies, or what the hell they're even going to do with the X-Men, because we really don't know right now. It's kind of up in the air what exactly the plan is, because they have started to refer to mutants thanks to Ms. Marvel, but we'll get to that. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really sure what they're going to do. We'll just have to wait and see. In regards to other things at Comic-Con, I don't really follow DC movie news all that much. I'm not as invested in it with Marvel. Maybe it's just because they don't really put out as much. But I have heard things about maybe them announcing a new Superman project. Fingers crossed it's with Henry Cavill, but who knows? I really like Henry Cavill Superman. I don't care what anyone says. I think he's great. I don't really know what else they can announce other than give information on other new projects we already know about, like Black Adam or the sequel to Joker or the Blue Beetle movie, which the set photos for that, the suit looks fucking incredible, by the way. I love the look of that suit. I remember seeing Blue Beetle in Batman the Brave and the Bold growing up, and I always thought he was really cool. So to see him get his own movie, I think is amazing. There's a Flash movie coming out, but who knows with all the bullshit that's going on with Ezra Miller. I know that's also supposed to lead into a Batgirl movie with Michael Keaton's Batman. So Yeah, there's a lot they could discuss, but I don't know anything in regards to like what new things they could announce. I'm not really following a lot of that at the moment, but I'm looking to get invested in it. I still have to catch up on a lot of the DC stuff of recent. There's a couple things I still need to watch. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Comic-Con and D23. The Marvel stuff is kind of combined with both. I don't know what they could announce at. You know, I can imagine like they're not going to announce everything at Comic-Con. Like they're going to wait for D23 to announce some things. So who knows? I'm really excited though. I can't wait to see what they do. I'm sure I'll be happy regardless. Okay, let's talk about Miss Marvel. My thoughts on the final 2 episodes of the show. I think the show is pretty solid. It's not like one of my top favorites, as I do love WandaVision. I do love Moon Knight. I think they're great shows. I think they're probably the best ones so far. Loki's pretty up there too. But Miss Marvel is not to say anything like it's not bad. It's just not one of my top ones. It gave me more appreciation for Captain Marvel because I still am not that invested in Captain Marvel. But seeing what happens with the post-credit scene for episode 6, I'm really excited to see what they will do. We got to figure out where the hell Kamala is because it looks like they swapped places or something. I've really been excited for the Marvels mainly because of Monica Rambeau, as I loved her in WandaVision. But Kamala Khan also gets me really excited for the Marvels. I really hope it's good. I hope it's a lot better than the first Captain Marvel because that movie is just mediocre, and then they shoehorned her into Endgame. So I'm really hoping that the Marvels really gets me hooked on the Captain Marvel side or part of the MCU because it's not all there for me yet. Also, Kamala Khan is a mutant, apparently. In the comics, she's an Inhuman. So they have changed. Not only have they changed her powers, but they've also changed her classification in regards to what kind of superhero she is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's cool if this is their way of bringing the X-Men in, but I know that there are fans of Miss Marvel that are not happy with this decision. But honestly, I couldn't care less. I just like seeing superheroes do cool things. So it really doesn't matter to me whether she's a mutant or an Inhuman. I honestly could not care less. But I'm really excited to see that regardless. They played the little X-Men animated series theme at the end, which they also did when Professor X came on the screen and Doctor Strange. So whatever they're building up here, I don't know how many other mutants they're going to introduce, whether it's going to be in the X-Men movie or we'll get them in other Disney Plus shows. We shall see. But regardless, I'm really excited to see what they do with this character, and I cannot wait to see her in the Marvels. Next up is Minions: The Rise of Gru. I was not expecting to go see this movie in theaters, but I just had to because at this point, I don't care. As much as I used to like shit on the Minions constantly from like 2015 to 2016, and that was like because the advertising for the first Minions movie was absolutely everywhere, and the movie wasn't even that good. I feel like it kind of ruined the brand, as I loved the first 2 Despicable Me movies, but the first Minions movie was pretty bad. I don't know. I think you need a balance when it comes to Gru and the Minions. And having an entire movie about just the Minions and like no Gru, it kind of deteriorates the movie a little bit. I will admit. So when they announced this sequel and they announced that Gru would be like a more important character to the plot, I was a little intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. The trailer looked pretty promising. I mean, I don't know. It's fucking Despicable Me, so who knows anymore. But overall, I would say, yeah, the movie's okay. It's not amazing. It's not even bad. It's a lot better than the first Minions movie, I will say. And honestly, I'll say it's the best Despicable Me movie since 2013 when we got the second Despicable Me movie, Despicable Me 2. I love the first 2 movies. The Minions movie sucks. Despicable Me 3 was a major letdown. And this one was honestly better than the both of those. So I'm really happy that, they're improving a little bit. I think that's great. I'm hoping that Despicable Me 4 improves on everything. They've already confirmed that movie is coming out. I think it's like in 2024 or something. But yeah, there's a lot going for this movie now, especially too, because of the little GentleMinions meme that became a thing during the opening weekend of the movie. There was this little meme going around of like people taking the Blue album from Weezer and putting it up to like 4 tickets to the Joker, please. And that has now evolved into people going to movie theaters in suits in anticipation for a cinematic masterpiece. And they've decided to go with Minions: The Rise of Gru. And now the movie is making a fuck ton of money. Not only because it's a Despicable Me movie, but also because of all of these teenagers and young adults going to see it. It's crazy. Like, the movie theater is probably doing the best it has been since the pandemic. And honestly, if this is the way it's going to be, and this is going to be the thing that saves movie theaters, then fuck it. Anything goes at this point. I just want to be able to go to a movie theater and watch a new release because I just love the experience of going to the movies. It's my happy place. I love it. So any reason to go, I will take it. If it gets people to go, fuck it. Who cares? You shouldn't even be mad about this. Just be happy that movie theaters can stay open a bit longer. Also, Yeet got a song on this movie, but it's not in the movie. It was just made for like a music video to advertise the movie, thanks to Cole Bennett and Lyrical Lemonade. He was asked to make a song for the movie, and he tried to finesse it and like get Yeet on, and like it actually worked. So now Yeet has a song associated with a multi-million-dollar animated movie, a family movie at that. So good for him. Song isn't that bad. I mean, it's the typical Yeet style of music. It's been used like everywhere in all the GentleMinion meme videos. So yeah, I mean, it's a good song. It's catchy. I think it's absolutely hilarious that it's also being used with all these memes. I think it just makes it better. I know a bunch of people have said this, but I'll say it too. Morbius walked so Minions could run. This is exactly what everyone anticipated Morbius was going to do, but people actually didn't go to see the movie. But they just ironically gaslit the fucking movie studio into releasing it twice just for it to bomb again. And then people actually went to go see Minions. So it's like Morbius, but like the good ending, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'm really nervous about the future of movie theaters, but if, like I said, if this is the way it's going to be, then so be it. If it gets people to go to the movies, then I don't care. So the movie's out today, but I have not seen it. I will probably be going to see it this weekend. Daniel Kaluuya is producing a Barney movie. He was interviewed because he's on a press tour for the movie Nope that's coming out. And he was asked, this was announced a while back, and then we heard like nothing about it for a while. So somebody asked him in an interview what the progress of this movie is. Basically, Daniel Kaluuya is producing a Barney movie, a live action movie that's a bit more darker in tone than like, it's not like a throwaway kids movie or something like Barney's Great Adventure or something like that. No, this is going to be like a family movie, but like, has more realism to it. It's like in the modern world and things like that. I guess it might even dive into like, people hating Barney and shit like that, because there were like groups of people that just absolutely fucking hated Barney. There was that whole era where people just did that. It was like the late 2000s on the internet. I know I saw a lot of it as a kid. I probably shouldn't have, but here we are. I have some quotes written here. I'll just read them out. So he did say the film is said to be more heartbreaking. So like I said, it's going to have more of a darker tone. It's going to have more realism to it, which is interesting. I don't know exactly what that means, but we shall see when the movie comes out. He also said, my last number of films have been so aligned to kind of what I stand for as a man, but there are a whole lot of things that I do as a man. I love kids' films. How did everyone get into films? Watching kids' films. I don't want to restrict myself to limitations of what I'm perceived as. So, yeah, he's acted in a lot of, more horror-esque movies. Like, he's in 2 Jordan Peele movies. He's also in Black Panther. He's in more, drama-associated movies for, adults and things like that. But now he wants to take aim at a family movie and produce it. I don't know if he's going to star in it, but he is producing the movie at least. So, and I have faith in him. He's a great actor. So, who knows? It might be something really cool. He also said, I have no idea why, but it feels like that makes sense. It feels like there's something unexpected that can be poignant but optimistic, especially at this time now. I think that's really, really needed. And I totally agree. I don't know what to expect for this movie, but I hope it's good. Maybe I'll see it in theaters if the trailer looks promising or whatever. We shall see. I don't know when this is coming out. You can correct me in the comments on when it does, if there is a release date. I honestly have no clue. But yeah, it is a thing that is happening. Moving on, Nintendo has announced that they have opened up a film studio, or at least a film division of the company. It's called Nintendo Pictures. And they're going to be producing animated content through this studio. In addition to the Super Mario movie that's supposed to be coming out in April. It was supposed to come out at the end of this year, but it got delayed to next April. But hopefully that means that, they'll have more time to make the movie and do it right. I'm still really concerned about how Chris Pratt Mario is going to sound. But... yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure if this movie in particular is going to be under Nintendo Pictures, but this does mean that we're going to end up getting more. Like, this isn't it. Like, this is Nintendo's big leap into making content for film and maybe even television. We'll see. I have heard rumors about a Donkey Kong movie possibly in the works, spinning off from the Mario movie, so it'll probably also star Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. So, I'm really excited to see that, honestly. I could go for a Donkey Kong movie. We have an entire series of Donkey Kong Country games that they could pull from. So, I guess we'll see. Other than that, though, there's like a ton of stuff they really could do with this. Like a Zelda movie, maybe either animated or live action. I would hope it's animated. I hope all of these are animated because I feel like everything's just being made into live action that is animated. People are just kind of forgetting, animated stuff isn't just for kids. Nintendo's a family-friendly company, but they can make movies for everyone if they really wanted to. We could have a darker toned Metroid animated film or something, or like a Zelda movie or something like that. That would be awesome. I'd love to see something like that from them in the future. Okay, final topic. I was not originally going to include this, but since I am recording this the day of, at least the day that it's going up, let's talk about the new Mac Miller posthumous album, I Love Life, Thank You. I know there were other music projects that dropped today, like Lil Uzi Vert's EP and Joey Badass's new album. There's a couple of other artists that have dropped things today. I just haven't gotten a chance to listen to them, so they will not be discussed in this video. But I did want to talk about Mac Miller's album, as my brother and I just listened to the whole thing. He loves it, and I love it too. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm like a huge Mac Miller Day One fan or anything like that. I'm far from it. I had known about Mac Miller. The first time I had heard about him was when he was featured on The Way by Ariana Grande in 2013. That was like the first time I had ever heard about the dude. I was like, who the fuck is this? But like everyone was like, oh my God, you don't know Mac Miller? I wasn't keeping up with music at the time. So I just didn't know. But over time, like I listened to different, like a couple songs here and there, like early high school, things like that. And then my junior year, 28. Actually, no, it was my senior year, like beginning of senior year, 2018. Like 4 years ago now. I was my brother's age when it happened. Mac Miller tragically passed away. And I hadn't listened to much of his stuff, but I was definitely upset about it because it's like, wow, I knew he was talented. I mean, everyone was saying he was. So, I'm not going to sit here and, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like a day one fan. I didn't really listen to him much before he passed, but I will say it's a fucking shame that this man passed away because he is a talented motherfucker. I listened to Swimming the day of his passing, and it was a beautiful album, and I've listened to a lot of his discography since. I still have yet to listen to everything, but from what I have listened to, I love. And the crazy thing is, he's been dead almost 4 years, and they just dropped an entire new album, and it sounds fucking great. It seems like it's a lot better than other artists that just kind of have their work just like thrown into an album and like piled on with a bunch of features and things like that. I think a grand example of that is Bad Vibes Forever by XXXTentacion. I despise that album. It sucks. But back to this album, I love it. I love every track. Some of my favorites include the introduction song, which is the same title as the album, I Love Life, Thank You. It's a great introduction. The song People Under the Stairs is the second track on the album, and my brother and I were listening to it, and he said to me that he feels like it sounds like Club Penguin music, specifically the Pizza Parlor music, which I thought was pretty funny. And the final two tracks, All That and All This, are incredible. I love them. And I love every track on this album. I think it's great. I'm really happy to see that, his music is being treated with respect, and that's the best part. There have been plenty of examples, like I said, of artists who pass away and then either their management or whoever just kind of throws all their samples and demos together and makes a shitty album just to capitalize on the fact that, they have music from a dead artist that's popular. So I'm glad that isn't the case, and that really hasn't been the case with Mac Miller's music. If anything, they've just been releasing stuff that's like either only been on SoundCloud or stuff that previously went unreleased and now has been like fixed up and sounds a lot greater. I will say over the past couple of years, the song Blue World has been a song I've had on repeat constantly. It's a great song. So yeah, it's a damn fucking shame that Mac Miller is gone, and he's been gone almost 4 years, and it really sucks because that man is super talented, and I love what he was able to do with these songs. I'm not sure whether or not it was his intention to release this project as is. We will never know. But regardless, I really enjoyed it. And with that, that's going to wrap up today's episode of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. That's all if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on audio, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Amazon Music, whatever it is, leave a follow or subscribe, drop a rating, and write a review. I'd really appreciate it. Go get your merch at jimmymullen.co, and be sure to also follow the podcast on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the new look of the channel. This will be the way it's going to look for the foreseeable future, at least until I decide on a new logo or something like that. But this was the intention from the beginning, so I'm glad I've been finally able to execute it in a really good way. I'm really obsessed with the way these thumbnails look, and I'm really proud of them. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. With that said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace out.